I'm gonna get strike down for that. Let me just announce the stream real quick. Stream announcements. Should be alright. Should be live. It's always a gamble. It's still not showing up. Now it is. I've been live for a minute. Nice. It's the YouTube dashboard being the YouTube dashboard. It's really annoying working with the YouTube dashboards. I used to stream on Twitch, for those that don't know. I'm just going to get set up here, get myself a drink, and then we'll get started with the mix. Hello, Cider. How are you doing? It was really easy when you were streaming on Twitch to see when you were live, because you just get a notification in your OBS that said you are now live, and then you were live. But with YouTube, there's this thing called autoplay, which is a very cool idea in that you're able to start streaming without actually going live to your audience. So you can check if your stream is all working, all set up properly, directly from the browser, without actually sending it out to your viewers, which is nice, and I use that. But when you then go live, or when you have autoplay on and you want to immediately go live, like I do when I'm just starting to spontaneously stream like right now, it's annoying because it doesn't actually tell you when you're exactly live. It just gives you like a waiting screen, and then suddenly it pops up and then it says live for a minute or like 2 minutes. In this case it was like 50 seconds. Streaming on a Saturday, yes. I'm going to be streaming back to back today and tomorrow. Today I want to do a mix, and I decided to make myself a little bit more productive. I would force myself to stream it, because then I don't get distracted from things. So that's the reason why I'm doing this. So I have a project, about 100 tracks that I want to start mixing. And you can see this is kick, bass, standard stuff. This is for an EP, or maybe I'm going to release these as singles. I don't exactly know yet. But I'm just going to be working on my mix. I have it set up that my microphone doesn't or gets cut off whenever I play. So when I start playing, you'll be able to see that I'm still talking, but it should not give me any more like volume. So there's no microphone bleeding. Every Saturday? No. No, I stream every Sunday, and whenever I feel like it, when like I really want to do something. Oppie Pico, how are you doing? That's a new name. Is that Cubase? No, this is Reaper. Reaper is a DAW specifically designed for mixing, and that's what we'll be doing today. Let's get started by setting up. I already organized this project and divided everything into its groups and everything, so you don't have to see all of the boring stuff. I did forget to put on the analyzers. This is nice. Like to have that. Cider is working today. I see. That's unfortunate. Maybe as a background noise, I can be your second monitor guy. What's it called? There's a specific term for it. I know that there is, where people just put on some podcast or YouTube video to be noise in the background so they don't feel alone. I can do that for you with my mixing skills. Little bit of EQing on here. I think like the 600 hertz area, this area. The click is really hard to judge the high end because there's a lot of elements that still need to be in here. I mean, this part is also hard to judge, but at least for the lower frequencies, you already have kind of an idea of what you want it to sound like. Recently, what I've started to do is add a little bit of saturation on my EQs. That's just a little bit of extra grit, which I really like. Of course, I want this in and out to be gain staged. I really like your content, also groovy stuff you do. Thank you. Glad that you enjoy it. That's why I'm here. The current audio bitrate is 0, or which is lower than the recommended bitrate. That's not true. I get that a lot, I think. Yeah, now it's gone. Perfect. Another strange bug or issue with YouTube streaming is the audio rate thing. I don't exactly know what it is that they want from me, because my bitrate is at 320, which is higher than 128, but they say that it's 0, which is like, doesn't make any sense. But I guess we'll be fine. I need to do a little bit of organization here, in that I need a top loop track. My usual way of working is I do kick and bass very, very quickly. You can see I didn't do anything with the kick right now, like no EQing, no nothing, and I just added this one equalizer on the bass. I want to start up by adding a bunch of the other elements to it. So for example, the top loop and all of the main leads that I have. I think these are already organized. You can see all of these top parts are like in their own space. So they are probably main leads or main sounds. There's a bunch of them all over the place. So once we have those mixed in, I'm going to maybe dive a little bit back into the details, see if I need to do some more stuff. I don't think I'm going to be explaining everything that I do when I'm like streaming like this, when I'm just sitting here and mixing. If you want like a detailed explanation of my mixing process, then there's always the masterclass. So there's always content for that. I just want to chill and maybe have some conversation with you guys in the chat. See if there's a bunch of people that come in and start chatting or stuff like that. Let's mix all of these together actually. This snare is very, very thin, I would say. How's the kickback going? I haven't worked on it in a long time. I have some other priorities before that, all of these mixes, and then I'll start working on the kickbacks again. I have to see, just need to make the first 100, and after that, it should be easy, if my theory is correct, which it oftentimes isn't. So it might be harder than I think it is. Because ideally, I have made all of the kicks in the same way, so I can just phase shift them to fit the different BPMs, but I'm not 100% sure if that will always work. I want to maybe slam it with some compression. Does this have a dry wet? Yes. I don't know, is this a good dry wet, or does this do the same as the ones in oh no, because this doesn't have what's it called? It doesn't have any filters, so it's not multiband, so it's not going to matter. If you have a dry wet on a multiband compressor, you're going to have the phase shift, and that's annoying. Uh-huh. I thought this was a sidechain, but this apparently is just like a bypass button. Let's slam it faster. I'm trying to make it like smash it all together, and then we'll dry wet for some parallelity or parallel compression. This one is also, it sounds not attacky enough, I would say. It's like a washing sound, right? Let's see with some strong compression here as well if we can bring back some of those clickiness. That's nice. And then overall I like to do some gluing, which is easy with the SSL comp. It's basically already set up for that. And now we go EQ. Okay, again, this is a preliminary mix. I still need to have my main elements in here before I can really start to guess what the exact sounds of these hi-hats are going to be. Same with the kick, same with the bass, so we're going to get back to that. Let's just start with the first synth. I'm just going to go step by step to implement them. I'm hoping these are the same. What's this thing then? Okay, so that doesn't provide to the delay. Ah, this is fully stereo. So in here, I need left one of them. See, what is happening is that this is a fully stereo sound. So if you put it to mix, it's going to sum together to nothing. Ooh. Why is it suddenly opened up its effect thing? That's not what I want. It's fully stereo, so there's a sound playing, but because it's summing before it determines the analyzer, no analyzer is showing up. So you just put it to one of the two. And my goal is just to clean it up in the low end. Guess we can sum these together. This can be like a layer for it, which means I would have this one higher. Why is this part of there? No, that's not good. That needs to be like so. Way too much high end. And I guess for both of these, we're also going to do high We'll set this to mid-side processing, so I can take this one and put it to the sides only, so that we just have more like mono mid-range kind of warmth. Again, once the one-shots and all of the other stuff comes in, we can actually make the decision on how it should sound. So let's just leave it like this. This is again a preliminary setup, and I will be coming back to it later. I wonder what the idea was between me splitting all of these sounds up into 2 layers. Because now all I have to do, or what I have to do, is I need to make sure that both layers have their own like space, right? This seems a little... This also has... Here there's actually a reason why I have it like this, because this is like a delay for it, I think. Ah no, it's with the ARP, where I have like a separate delay. That seems a bit extreme there. Like to always carve out some space. This currently sounds very bad in context, but I hope that it will work later on. Once all of the elements are going in, I hope that this balance is going to work out, but it sounds a little bit off to me. It sounds a little bit strange. That doesn't sound like a lot of high end to me. I don't think I need that, like, lower bell. If I want this to be just high end, I'll just like use this as a high end layer. This should probably not be providing the mid-range. We should probably have that from the other one. Mr. PSK, how are you doing? Welcome. And then in here I want... Oop. Stereo processor. Again, it's opening up like this. Very strange. Let's get this to like 600 Hertz. I guess we can do like this. I think I need to do some filter automation on that because it gets really sharp there. Trim last touch parameter frequency. I need to then scroll to the beginning. It always makes an automation point at the beginning. That's annoying, but I guess that's just how the software works. From here to there, we can go down. I guess it's specifically this one that's causing that harshness. we can... It's probably because this is the distorted version. So if we go like this... It's not nearly as harsh. It's still there. Stream audio compression. Yeah, it's not the best audio quality for you guys. Also, I'm compressing my microphone whenever it's playing. So whenever you see me speaking and there's something playing, that's why you don't actually hear me. Otherwise, the speakers bleed back into the microphone. There's a lot of mid-range in here. Yeah, we don't need that. There's not a sequence. This is really like a background sequence, I think. I guess so. Hello, Nicola. Welcome. I think OBS added AV1 encoding better quality. I can look into that. It's one of the things that I have experimented with today actually is the new thing from Adobe Podcast, which is like AI enhancement of voice. And I am almost at the point where I say I can record something and say, well, I don't need to buy a better microphone. I can just buy a better camera. And then it's like the better sound quality than I have now on the videos. Because for the videos I do a lot of restoration, which obviously I cannot do when I'm live streaming. But I have like, first I have a compressor, then I have noise reduction, then I have an EQ, another compressor, which is more like a gluing compressor, it's an SSL compressor. And then the last one is another EQ, like a dynamic EQ for sibilants and all of that stuff. It's a video codec, not sound. There is no sound in the video codec. Yeah, because they're two different things. Maybe it does help with the dropouts that I've been having, right? Whenever the stream drops out completely. By the way, can you guys see the chat when it's like right here on the screen? Maybe I should change that up because it does look a little bit hard to read from my screen. But I guess for most people who are watching live, they have the chat on the side, so it doesn't really matter. It's mainly for those who want to watch back the stream. Yeah, it's a bit hard to read. I can probably get that fixed in just like 2 seconds. I can put like a little background on it, I think. If I go to overlays, chat box, settings, positions. Now if I no. Wait. Am I filters? I am color keying away the background color so that you can see through it, but that's very destructive. Maybe I can put an edge around it a little bit bigger. I don't think I can. I don't think I can fix it right now. I'll have to come up with some like design that I can put behind it so that it actually looks nice and you guys can see it properly. For today, it's okay. It's mainly for those who want to watch back the stream, because it doesn't always save the chat of YouTube, and then it's a nice way to actually show you what the questions are, and when we're chatting about something, if I reply to something in the chat, then those who are watching it back can actually see what is being said. This is one of the main elements here. This very strong impact. Comes with its own like, oh. Hardwick, how are you? Welcome. I'm doing fine. I'm doing very well, actually. Haven't had allergies for a while, so that's, I guess, the best thing. But also I'm just in a point where I'm just like mixing and having fun, not having to worry about anything right now. So that's nice. I cannot really mix this yet. I need some intro elements first. Is there any overlap? I guess the vocal chops are in the drop, right? Yes. Okay, then here is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to mix these against the drop. Like that. And now I can... The only reason why I wanted to do this is because it's so high up in the list, but I don't even think that that's needed. I'm used to this screen being bigger. Right now it has the mixer in here, which I normally don't have docked. So I need to spend a little bit of time organizing myself again. I need to now do the one shots, I guess. These are the very high sounds. Guess this really doesn't need that mid-range then. Right, was that here? These two together are also like, almost like a main element, I would say. I don't remember why I put them all the way below. This definitely has a little bit too much space here. make really nice kicks, man. There's a good chance that this isn't even my kick. That this is just a sample from the Psychedelic Intelligence pack, volume 2. And that I just imported it into the project, added some EQ. In the mixing stage, I haven't done anything to it yet. So this is probably not my kick. I'm gonna be that honest with you. The new kicks. You'll definitely hear the new kicks once they start cropping up in the productions. Those are like snappier and grittier and stronger than the kicks that are even in this production. I mean in general. Oh, okay. Yeah. Specifically for this track, I don't think I did much with the kick. But in general, I do like to spend some time fixing up the sample wherever I can. I mean, most productions that are out now of me are just kick samples from somebody else. Like, I really started making my own kicks with the productions that I'm mixing now. Not this production, this is the earliest productions of like the 5 that I did. But all others should have a kick of mine in there that I like specifically made for the kick sample packs that I made, one a while back ago and the other that I'm still working on. Obviously this is taking up way too much space there in that mid-range. Even has low end, so let's fix it. Also doesn't need so much high end here. Here there should be a vocal, that's why it's now sounding strange, but...
So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel...
H-comp stereo. There was something about this compressor. Oh yeah, I like this compressor, I like this interface, but I have to rant a little bit about the Waves plugins. I'm gonna set, what was it? I'm gonna set a high ratio, and now we have a threshold, which I'm just gonna go up all the way.
Time travel has really captured our imagination. Time travel has really captured our imagination.
I don't think you can see it, but that says minus 8.7. If I turn this off, it should be a little bit lower, even though this is a compressor.
Time travel has really captured our imagination.
No, it isn't. I've had issues with this specific... Maybe if you do set a threshold.
Time travel has really captured our imagination.
I had... Oh, wait.
Time travel has really captured our imagination.
Yeah, now it's compressing, but it's going to minus 6.3 dB. So I don't know what's going on there. Why, even though with no output gain, and I think no input gain, why it's apparently either gain staging itself, or it has some input gain at the start, or I even tried like without the analog.
Time travel has really captured our imagination.
You can see how loud it is. It just adds a bunch of dBs to it, which is not what you want your compressor to do.
So time travel has really captured our imagination.
That's...
So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured. So time travel has so time travel has really captured our imagination.
Let's I want to add a delay to this because it's too dry now. Hello, my Logify. Sorry for not watching the chat and seeing everybody when they come in. I'll eventually get around to saying hi to everybody. Okay, we can give this... This has an input gain, but I do like the one that has that comes with the volume here, because it goes down a lot more, and I can go in here. I really don't need it here. And then I just slowly want to have it come up.
So time travel has really captured our imagination.
And then this obviously fully wet, long feedback.
So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination.
We have our main, we have our delay, and let's put that through a group together. Oh right, you cannot do that in here. That's annoying. I wish that that feature did exist, that you can just do that in the mixer itself.
So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination.
I guess overall this could use a little bit of extra stereo width on the normal one. I guess the stereo maker is good for vocals.
So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has.
Let's go with a little bit of reverb on top of that. I think I've talked about it before in one of my last production sessions, how I spend a lot more time worrying about reverb, and especially parameters like the high and low pass filters of it, to dictate where the reverb should be in terms of the space for it. And especially on main elements like vocals, it's really noticeable when a reverb is off, when it has too much bass, when it has too much high frequency, when it's too stereo, when it's too mono, all of that stuff. But it's not something that I would ever listened for, and now I just do that.
So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination.
It just sounds so much more expensive and so much more, how can you say it? I mean, it sounds more reverby, obviously, but it also just glues everything together.
So time travel has really captured our imagination.
I do feel like it makes it a bit darker with our current setup. So I guess we can do like this.
So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination.
You can get away with even less reverb. You can see this is very little reverb in terms of percentages, like 10-15%.
So time travel has really captured our imagination.
And it's just there to wash it out a little bit, right?
So time travel has really captured our imagination.
We can add a transition to really hear what it's going to sound like in this area.
So time travel has really captured our imagination.
There's another one of those that Needs a lot of EQ work. There's some click in there. This is more like an atmosphere anyway, so it doesn't really have to be in your face. I would like to see if I can remove that one click, which should be doable with an LFO tool. If I temporarily mute this and then solo it.
Travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination.
Why you no click? Does he click now? Yes. That means that I need to check other spaces as well, I guess. You cannot place it here because it has a little bit of a fade in when you start playback. That makes sense. I'll leave that fade on, but I don't want this one and don't want that one either. Now it's just normally clicking there. There we don't have any issues. I think it's just because of the kick fills themselves. So I think we should have fixed all of them then.
Travel has really captured our imagination. Our imagination.
Cool trick there is use stereo spread on your... Do you hear like the difference between with the stereo spread and without? I also think this needs a little bit more of a almost like pool tech kind of EQing on it. So I'm going to use the M Turbo EQ for that. The pool meld. Like 60 Hertz, you boost a little bit and then you go down at this lowest part here. The cool thing about the Melda interface and all of that plugins is that you have this many options. I am now like stepping, right? You're gain stepping, but let's say I don't like the 4, I don't like the 2, I think the 4 is too much, the 2 is too little. I can still go into continuous mode if I want to. And that's really powerful. Frequency though, for some reason they don't. Oh, and they have lock system as well. Interesting. Is it the same for the kick, that it needs a little bit of like extra strength and oomph? Let's just see. Obviously, gain staging. Didn't do my gain staging. Is there an output gain here? I have an input gain, but I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Unless I apply the saturation.
So time travel has really captured our imagination.
Hello Scully, welcome. I saw your logo on the Discord. Looks really cool. At least I'm assuming that you posted it, that you're the same. What was it, Scully or Skull that posted the logo? Yeah, okay. Looks really nice. What might be cool is to include, if you're really going into psytrance, then I think it lacks a little bit of the like psytrance elements. It feels to me like a very progressive psytrance kind of logo. I'm not sure if you're more into the progressive commercial side of psytrance or if you're into like the quote-unquote real psytrance. But I would suggest, if you have the ability to do like some more real psytrance, is to maybe have like a couple of mushrooms growing in the eye sockets, a bunch of flowers behind it instead of these like light rays, to just make it a little bit more complex and stuff like that. Quick rant about logos.
So time travel has really captured our imagination.
I'll probably just take the skull in the middle and redo the whole background. Yeah, it's the background gave it away with the it being an AI thing. Obviously, you can see it from this as well. One of the things that you can see when looking for AI things is the left and the right identical? And you can see there's like small differences everywhere between the left and the right that it shows that it's like not mirrored, which is what a normal artist would do, right? They would just do one side and then save them the cost of having to do half the painting, and then they would do the other side. And AI doesn't work like that. So that gives it's actually that gave away that there's more detail in there.
Captures our imagination.
Dynamics. Let's bring out the delay a little bit more for these elements. It's really the main element that's just a lot louder than the rest. I wonder why. That's that thing there. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be more atmosphere and stuff in there, so that's going to cover up some of the dubious things that I did here. I don't like how this was sitting on this element, because clearly this is the main element here, together with the big impact, right? This one. This is a sound that I really like. This is the whole backbone of the track was like built around this sound. And then I had this complementary sound. So I want those two to stand out whenever they're playing. So this one layering on top of there sounded really off. This one is maybe... feels way too friendly. Nice rhythms you have in there. Thank you. Let's see. Some really strong distortion. Maybe phase distortion. You almost want a lower pitched version of this in there. At this point, I'm really just rewriting the track. This doesn't do pitch shifting, that's true. Pitch shifter. Maybe 2 octaves is a bit too much. If I go 1 octave. It's still like gritty and screamy. Bit of extra compression on there to bring out the delay tail a lot more. H compressor is another one that's actually really good for this kind of parallel compression. Using it once more in here. That makes some sense. We have a few more lead sounds. I guess 2 of them. This one.
Captures our imagination. Captures our imagination. Captures our imagination. Captures our imagination.
This is where the vocal lives, I think. Right? Yes, there we are.
Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even time travel. Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even time travel. Air travel. Space travel, even time travel. Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even time travel. Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even time travel.
I'm gonna do this in its separate track as well. Damn, you EQ fast. It's a good thing to be this fast in the beginning stage. Once you have all of your elements in there, you can go back and make your very small decisions. One of the things that I refuse to do specifically for sidetrend sounds is to go in here with an EQ and to... what I see a lot of people do is they go like this, right? Where they have an equalizer, they make like a very small band and then they... I'm exaggerating here, I'm doing like 24 dB, but there's a lot of people that will go through their sounds one by one with one specific band and then they will hunt for resonances. Right, they will do that, sweep in on it. This is probably not a good example, but maybe like a sequence or like a pad would be a good example. This is something like this. Maybe the... Do I have a good pad in this thing here? There's a break pad. Let's see if I can... Yeah, this would be a good example. Where people will go in there with their EQ. And then they'll just sweep. And they'll be like, oh no, this is a resonance. I don't want this resonance. And then they'll go like this. Not realizing that by doing this and sweeping up by 24 dB, they just created the resonance that they're now EQing. Now it's here. And then you're going to hear it and you're going to say, well, I need to fix that. It doesn't really improve the sound. I need to remove that other EQ before it messes with my mix. Where did that place that? That was on the big impact thing, I guess. This one, yes. Oh, Alt. So my philosophy on EQing is try to do it as fast as you can so that you can go back and tweak it later if you really need to. Right now I'm just still adding all of the elements to the track, right? We have done a few of them, but we're still missing a couple of drums, a bass line for the intro, I guess. Or not. No bass line. Okay, let me custom color, show that this needs to be done. But the other ones are still in here. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I don't really know what this sound is doing. Maybe I won't even have the claps in there. Let's first do the atmospheres. That explains why I don't have a bass for the intro. Is this mono though, this bass? Here process, I'll just force it into mono. By the way, isn't there a way for me to see the analyzer on here, on the crossover? It stops like randomly. I mean, not randomly at the point where it needs to stop, but I do want it to continue. guess a way to make it more smooth going in there is to just apply a little bit of a high pass filter towards the end here. And then like over 2 bars go like this. Does it tell me the value now where it is? You can see it like this, right? 75, that's not enough. It only tells you when you hover on top of it. We can do set point shape Bezier. And then if you hold Alt, you can do it like this. Now with that out of the way, we can lower this volume.
Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even time travel. Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even time travel. Experts have been wrong on the feasibility. Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even time travel. Experts have been wrong on the feasibility. Experts have been.
We'll do the same vocal trick with the reverb on top as well, I guess.
Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even time travel. Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even time travel.
This intro riser is really supposed to be very, very low. Is also part of that. I'm surprised there's so little going on in this production, actually. The intro feels very bland now. I don't recall this being a problem when I was producing it. Maybe I'm missing a few elements or something like that. I overlooked a few like effects. Because it feels not progressing enough, I would say.
Time going slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time going slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time going slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time goes forward. Time goes forward. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time going slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time going slower. 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 Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time going slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Time going slower. Time going slower. Time going slower. Time going slower.
Okay, so for some reason this setup is still adding like 3 dB to it.
Time going slower.
Wait. How can I experiment this best? I guess the kick is a very stable sound. I think I know what's going on here with this H comp. If I go mix all the way down, analog, no ratio, highest threshold, no attack, longest release, like no compression, right? Let's just see. that's the same. If I now boost this by like, let's go 4 dB. The output is on both the dry and the wet. That's stupid. Why would you want that? Then you can never gain stage the dry signal with the wet signal. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. Wouldn't you want to be able to set the volume of your compressed signal after you compress it, but before you mix it in with the original again? Isn't that the point of an output mix? That means that I would need to use this mix here, right? Wave sucks. Yeah, of course. I mean, I really, really want to like this compressor because the interface is easy and intuitive. It just gives you what you want, right? In terms of compression. And I really like plugins like those. I really want this to be designed better. For example, the edge cases where for some reason adding it starts to add volume to like on random settings, even though it's doing compression. It makes very little sense, this plugin. Well, in reality, I should just not care about it and just move on. It's something that really can grind my gears, if you know what I mean. Why do I have that sound twice? Basically the same sound, no? They do both play at different times, I guess. There's a nice compressor from Klankhelm M. Juck Jr. It's free. I have a bunch of different compressors which I can use. The other intuitive one for me, at least, is the M Dynamics. But this is not very intuitive for other people. Because people look at this and they see all of the knobs and all of the buttons, but most of this stuff you can just completely ignore. All of that you need to look at is threshold, ratio, attack and release, and an input and output gain. And if you just limit yourself to looking at those knobs, then this is one of the easiest compressors to understand. Right? It's when I'm making tutorials and stuff like that, I always find it annoying having to use the Melda stuff. Having chosen Melda as my like bundle for doing my everyday mix task instead of what people use like the Fab filter or even the Wave plugins for that matter. I've chosen Melda and I really like them, but I do recognize that when I'm doing tutorials or streams or stuff like this, that this looks extremely complicated. And I think it's really hard for me to just get viewers to get over that fact, but for me it's the easiest interface there is, right? Because you just limit yourself to the knobs that you need to look at. You can ignore everything else that is all noise, and then you have this graph here, which tells you exactly what the compressor is doing. Shows you the graph that it makes, just like Pro C does. It shows you knee size and all that stuff, and it even shows you the actual compression. Right, you have gain reduction values down there, so if you want to gain stage, you can use that. It's actually stupidly easy, but it's annoying having the... I wouldn't say annoying, it's strange that people don't get over that fact that it's not, that it's actually an easy plugin to use. And the same is true for a lot of Melda plugins. I guess there's like a stigma around them that they are complex. It's simple, it has 2 knobs. Yeah, this one isn't that simple. It's not like those one knob things. One of the one knob plugins that I like to use from Klanghelm, I think. Clefgrant. Yeah, this is also like one of those one knob, actually really like 2 knob plugins. You have an output gain here as well. This is Saturator. It's, for me, I don't really like the one knobs. I do like the Lux because saturation amount really is something that you can impact with one knobs, but I don't think like compression should be a one knob thing, because there's attack, release, threshold and ratio, which I would really want to have.
Time goes forward. Time goes forward. Time goes.
Wait, what? I think this needs to be here, right?
Time goes forward. Time goes forward. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time goes forward. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time goes forward. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity.
Maybe it's a good thing to explain what I just did there with the EQ. I talked about not going into individual peaks and turning up and down resonances before, and it may look like that's what I just did because I did, but I didn't search for it, right? That's the problem that I have with a lot of producers. They go in here and they create a peak and then they create their own problems. They go like this, where is the resonance? Where is it? Well, it's gonna be right here. So what I like to do when I'm opening up an EQ, and I think one of the reasons that I'm so fast with the EQ, again to answer Glyph's question from before, is I have an idea of what I want the sound to sound like before I even open up the EQ, and then I just implement that plan. Like when I'm adding the sound, I listen. Done, right? I know I just turned off my microphone, but the only thing that I said is I conclude it's too bright, and then I went into the EQ and then I did the EQing.
Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time goes forward.
I think these two are, I'm going to turn them off and just leave them off. The way that I indicate that is with a dark channel, so you cannot see their actual waveforms, and they'll just stay turned off like that. This is one that I need to replace, the intro bass, maybe. I don't know yet. Maybe the pad does enough, this. And otherwise I'm going to replace it with the actual bass line, and then I'll mix it in properly. For now, all of the elements have been added. What I want to do is I want to take a quick break myself, put on some other mix that I already did within the EP projects that I'm working on. And then we'll get back and we'll worry about some of the details. I'll listen through it a bunch of times, and then I'll like write everything down, and then hopefully today we can actually finish this mix. So that means I need to quickly find bottom stuff. I guess I'll go with this one. There's another mix that is like in the first stage. Basically in the stage that this project is in now. So I still need to do all of the detail work, but I did already add all of the stuff in there. I can use this, I guess, to down arrow, show dynamics properly. Actually check the kick, because now the kick is obviously this is louder because it's summed. These tracks almost are equally long. Alright, I'll be right back. I do have a be right back screen here, right? Text there, and then I turn the microphone off, and I'll be right back. See you guys in a little bit.
Houston.
simulation theory is the idea that we are living in a simulation. That the world that we live in is not the real world, but it's just a simulation that somehow we are hallucinating. Much like being cocooned inside the Matrix while we all live out our lives.
Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that track. Townhouse compressor. No, that's not one that I know. Nice. Probably going to be hella expensive knowing Plugin Alliance. Yeah, $300. Not worth it right now. Just wait for them to be on sale. One track, we don't need that anymore. Okay, so what I'm going to do is a couple of listen throughs and just write down whatever comes to mind about the mix. Right, so I listen a bunch of times and then I write down everything that I hear. Yeah, for the Plugin Alliance stuff, you always have to watch out for the sales, because they do crazy sales, right? They have their business models of their plugin usually being too expensive, I would say, for what it is. Even like stuff like the mastering compressor that I'd like to use on my master track. So in here that would be the mix bus, the Shadow Hill. This comes in at like $300 as well. I got it for like 25. Right, so if you just wait for something like this to go on sale, you can get this really, really cheaply. I might have even gotten this one for free when they merged together with Isotope, Native Instruments, all of that jazz to become the mega corporation that it is now, right? It's like Isotope, Native Instruments, Plugin Alliance, and a bunch of others are all together. And every time a new company gets added, all of the products from all different companies go on like a big sale. I believe I got it from there. Either way, as I said, I'm going to listen through it. If you have any suggestions for the mix, if you want to contribute to it, feel free to write stuff in the chat.
has really captured our imagination.
Experts have been wrong on the feasibility of air travel, space travel, even plane travel.
Time goes slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time goes slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time goes slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity. Time goes slower.
Time travel.
All right. I listened through it once. I thought I would need to listen a few more times, but we already have like a whole page full of notes that I want to implement. Is there a way that I can show the whole thing to the camera? All of the notes there, right there. So I'm going to need this here actually. Want another drink, and then we'll get started on all of these things. Okay, so the vocal cords is the first thing, which is these. We just want a little bit of it there, and then this flute sounds a little bit strange, a little bit hollow. Ooh. Right click, replace, just a normal EQ. That's where the drop starts? I think that's where the drop starts, right? Yes. There, and then it goes down. Okay, I want more clarity in this vocal. Right now it sounds pretty bad, I would say. Sounds really muffled. Aha, this is quieter. Sometimes you have to go back in your own production and you don't really know what's going on. Let's see if we can make this a bit louder here. Why? That will just work on that one, right? If I just move this up a lot, it doesn't go to the other one. Perfect, perfect, exactly. Just want this to come in a bit more. This one needs to stand out a bit more when it's on its own. I also want this, yeah, to be a lot quieter. Thought it'd go great with projectors, drink, homemade popcorn. I would love some popcorn. The only popcorn that they sell at the local supermarket is the one that is already like pre-popped, which doesn't stay well for a long time. So when you open the package, you just need to eat it whole, and that's not nice if you're living on your own, because you're never going to finish a whole pack of popcorns just like in one sitting, at least unless you have like serious issues, I guess. I mean, I would finish a pack of popcorn, but it's not a good thing to do, I guess. I can this output here, I can bring that down a little bit there. The gain staging. This one I wanted to remove 2 dB. Vocal chops clarity. This I've done. This I've done. Done. 1 and 2 is later. It depends how big is the pack. It's one of those like half family thing. I mean, I don't really know how many there are in there because, you know, with like ships manufacturers and whatever they do, they tend to put a lot of air in their packages. So maybe it's exaggerated, but it's one of those things that they write like family pack on, and it's fairly big, but maybe it's just like halfway filled with popcorn, and then it would be doable. It just tends to immediately get soggy and nasty and annoying to eat. Let's make this smaller, we don't need that anymore. Spoken vocals minus 2 dB. I don't know which one I meant. I think this one.
So time travel has really captured our imagination. So time travel has really captured our imagination.
Here I think I'm just gonna go with removing this. That's not too big. It's too much for one sitting for one person. But yeah, if you really wanted to, if you didn't have dinner and you then started eating it, then it would be doable.
So time travel has really captured our imagination. Travel has really captured our imagination. Captures our imagination. Captures our imagination. Captures our imagination.
Okay, let's listen to some of the vocal chops here that I still wanted to do. It just stops here. These sounds are too loud still as well, the morphing synths. I wanted to do -2 dB for both of them. The number 2 and the number 1. Hello Salvia Cat. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing names. I'm not good with names. Let's make you lower and then Bezier. And we just want this to continue up until there. Like that. Perfect. Nice. Sorry, you didn't hear that. I just read out your message, so I reacted to that. When I have my microphone, when I have the sound playing, my microphone doesn't get picked up, so that there's no microphone bleed and stuff like that. Make this a bit low. What else? I did the vocalizer, I need to do the build snares and then art main. Oh yeah. And then the outro and the top loops. Okay. We're getting pretty close to done, I guess. There's not really anything that stands out to me other than that these snares were just not processed and just kind of placed in there. Let's use some stereo wave on those. Nice stereo spread on there. here to like here and then back down again.
Time going slower. Gravitational redshift. Time going slower. Gravitational redshift. Time dilation. Einstein's relativity.
Nice. Okay, so the final thing that I have is that there's some strange sound in the very outro, like right here. This one here. It's just too gritty. So I want to remove all of that grittiness. I just want this to be like a smooth sound. If there is any issues with this, I just remove it completely. It just doesn't feel right there. That just sometimes happens, right? When you're mixing, you create a new balance. So some of the production changes that you make just don't work anymore.
Time going slower. Gravitational redshift.
And the last thing was the drums here. Giving them a little bit of stereo width. And Turbo Verb is really nice for this. You go on the bright one all the way off. This can go all the way up. Little bit of Luftikus on there. The stereoscope, I want to see if Maybe a little bit too much. That's nice. Now we're going to put this into free clip. I always like to clip my top loops quite a bit actually. You can see this one actually is quite okay. I'm still going to do it. I need to push it up by 10 dB, this one actually, for it to get in there. That's quite a lot. I don't think you can hear a difference, and that's the goal. I don't want to clip this too hard so that it becomes obvious. The only thing that I want this to do is remove any of the big transients that are there. And I think maybe in SciScope I'll be able to show you what the difference is. It still has a lot of transients on the snare actually. Go with an LFO tool. You really don't need this beginning part of your snare. Like with the kick, this right, the snare and the kick. I can barely hear the difference. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of it. Something like that. You see what a difference that makes on the kick transient right here at the beginning? This is a banger. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying my bangers. It still feels a little bit sloppy, this one. Give us... It really doesn't have the oomph, the snap to it that I wanted to have. Let's go Lux. It's a lot of... That's the wrong saturator. Replace the black box maybe? That's nice. Bit extra. Ah, this is a bit too late. That's what's up. Should still have the same effect here. Now that makes sense. Okay, well, I think that for today, that's going to be it. I wasn't planning on streaming for that long. And we finished the mix, at least for now. This is going to be like mix number 1, and then I'm going to go over it, listen to it again a little bit. I need to confront it with the rest of the tracks, so that the mix are all fairly similar. So yeah, I'm going to end it here. Tomorrow we're going to have a feedback stream, tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So then I'll be live again. And hopefully next week I can do the final mix for the other track that I still need to do. And then after that, I can get into finalizing this track and all of the other ones. For those that don't know, it's this track, the one that I played during the break, the one that has the prog bass in the second drop, which I still need to mix. And then there's the one that has that very dark kick and bass. I don't know if you guys are too familiar with the music that I always put on, but can I quickly drop them in here? Yeah. And then obviously it's the big one with the long intro. It's everybody is excited about for me to put out, and that I then finally will. This mix is doing some strange things with the waveform. Messy kick and bass, messy stuff. I need to work on this more. We have In the Beginning, which is the one with the long intro. I think everybody that follows my stream knows this one. A lot of work also needs to be done on this one. I still need to finalize that. And then we have Virtual Reality, which is the one that I put up in the break. And then the final one, where do I have that? this. This is still not, this is not the mixed version, this is the production mix. So sorry if it sounds terrible, but this is this one. Not a very old production. So happy to get those tracks finished and finalized and like released and everything. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow is going to be feedback. Make sure that everybody has their track prepared. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Also, video coming out tomorrow and 3 videos next week. I am experimenting a lot these last few days with changing up the way that I produce. One of the things that I have found, as I talked about before, is Adobe Podcast. I cannot let you listen to it right now because obviously it's not like a... Actually, 2 seconds. I can show you the difference that it makes in my voice with the recording. If I go here, this is my raw voice. This is just going to be a microphone test. I'm just going to sit here and record myself talking, and I'll try to be as realistic as possible. I'll try to do... I just recorded one of those like talking randomly, and then with Adobe Enhance stuff, this is the enhanced version. This is just going to be a microphone test. I'm just going to sit here and record myself talking, and I'll try to be as realistic as possible. So you can compare that with like the videos and the live stream. You'll hear that it's going to be a lot higher quality, and it's the same microphone, so I don't have to buy a new microphone if this is just going to work. I would love to have this technique also in real time, but you need NVIDIA for that, an NVIDIA graphics card, because they have something like this, and AMD doesn't, and I'm running an AMD graphics card. So for live streams, I still need to find something, but for videos, I already have something for that. Also, hopefully, new camera coming very, very soon. That being said, that's everything that I wanted to say. Thank you all for joining me for today's stream, and see you tomorrow.